All right, welcome to yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense report. And actually, it's Monday night, not Sunday night. Why are we doing these on Monday night instead of Sunday night, Total S today?
Because you and I are not from the same planet sometimes, especially with that Vaseline video. If that's you, I don't know you.
That was the most fun I have had in years.
I
And
bet.
well, it's funny because we're talking about this on the Linux distro community one night before recording one of my weekly podcasts that had not seen anybody attempt that before on YouTube, and I figured this would be something quite novel to do something like that. So I
I
mean,
had different words for it, but sure, novel is good. Yeah, yeah,
I just went to the dollar store and
yeah.
you know picked up everything I needed, and then the first thing I did when I got home was pop the lid off the Vaseline and put a bunch of dirt in it and stirred it around. And
Folks, that was Spatry's idea, not mine, just for the record. Okay.
yeah, but I'll tell you what, it was really, really fun. And I mean, I tried filming this video a few times because I wanted to try and do it with a straight face. There was no way I could do it,
Yeah.
and it was a blast. So
Well,
I actually think I'm going to start doing these off topic, maybe once a month. In between all the Linux and all the other stuff, throw an off topic episode in there, give everybody a chance to throw some of these goofy ideas. And of course, if they fit the family friendly format, I'll try them. And so it'll be a lot of fun.
whatever
One
you say.
person,
Yeah.
yeah, one person suggested nailing Jello to a tree, and let me tell you, I already have it planned. I know how to do it, and I'm not going to spoil any surprises. But one day,
Oh, I can hardly wait. Yeah.
why would somebody want to nail Jello to the tree in the first place?
A Jello tree.
Ubuntu, yeah, really. Ubuntu website warns Windows 8 users don't use Whoopee. A week or so after being thrown out of the default Ubuntu 13.04 disk image, the Ubuntu website is also warning users not to use Whoopee to try Ubuntu 12.10. When clicking the Install from Windows link on the Ubuntu download page, the following banner appears advising against using the Whoopee tool with Windows 8 or UEFI hardware. Instead, Ubuntu recommends installing Ubuntu 12.10 64-bit on its own dedicated partition, a task that is made easy with Ubuntu's installer, but not entirely without risk. Um, Now, I can imagine, with UEFI and the lockdown and all this other stuff, that could probably cause some headaches for people.
Yeah, Goofy is not. I'm sorry, Eufy is not very friendly. I call it Goofy, but sure. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look. I have Windows 8 in a virtual machine, and that's good enough for me for now. So,
Yeah, well, that's the only way you should have it sandboxed.
well, unless you have a touch screen, and that's perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and really, it's really best for tablets and touch screens. And I mean, I guess Microsoft's trying to push their operating system into the new age, new millennium.
yeah,
Last week we discussed that people are switching over to mobile devices and tablets, that sort of thing, and they're trying to get their foot in a market that has really been taken over quite well by
yeah,
iOS and Android, and they're the lead
yeah.
players right now in this. And I don't know if Windows can really compete in that arena. What do you think about that?
You know what? They certainly can make nice, software products. Like one of my friends, I think I mentioned, has a Windows 8 phone, the Nokia Lumia. I think it's 920, and it's a smartphone with Windows 8 done right. I've played with it. It's actually pretty zippy, stable. He loves it. He was shopping last Christmas between that and the iPhone, and he looked at the specs and at the price, and he's had it now, since November and December, and he absolutely loves it. So Microsoft can make a fine product, but I think they try to do too much with Windows 8 where one size fits all, if you know what I mean.
Mm, yeah,
Other than that, sure, they can make a fine product.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I was looking on Linux today, and they had a link to an article on TechMint for the 10 top widely used Linux distributions of 2012, and
Ah,
that grabbed my eye. Let
okay.
me read. Let me read this
Sure.
to you.
Yeah.
Number 10, Puppy Linux, and my friend ICOS, who has his show on YouTube, he absolutely
Yes.
loves this operating system.
Yes.
Very lightweight, great for all of you guys with old hardware. Comes with just about every application that you can think of. Uh, all in a small, compact size. Number 9, PC Linux OS. I've reviewed this one as well. This
Yes.
is a KDE-based distribution, 32-bit. And then, of course, number 8, CentOS. For those of you who are looking for something that's based on Red Hat, CentOS is your enterprise operating system. Okay, and then, of course, number 7, Arch Linux. I ran that for a little while until they were pushing some bad packages and that sort of thing, but I understand they've got everything cleaned up and everything. I might have another look at that again in the near future. Number 6, Debian Linux, probably and arguably the oldest Linux
Yeah.
distribution that is still out there,
Yep.
and great if you're looking for stability and good customization.
Sure.
Then moving on down to number 5, we have OpenSUSE.
Mm.
And a matter of fact, I think my cup of Linux distribution that I built on OpenSUSE is still available.
Hmm.
But then again, you have customization. You
Yeah.
can even go on their website and build your own distribution. Number 4, Fedora, or Fedora, as some of you may call it. And this, of course, this is I want to say, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think Fedora is pretty much everything that's tested out in Fedora that lasts ends up getting pushed over to Red Hat Enterprise. Good, solid,
Uh,
community-driven
yeah.
distribution. And then 3 is Mageia. And then, of course, another really cool Linux distribution. I'm not going to go into great detail on that one. Number 2 is Ubuntu. And let me guess what number 1 is.
Never heard of it.
Number 1 is Linux Mint.
Yay! Yay! That's what I use.
Linux Mint
Yeah.
is, yeah, and hey,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm running myself.
Yeah.
I'm running Linux Mint
Yeah.
13. I'm going to stick with this until the next long-term release is out. So all in all, good listing here. If you want to check this out, just Linux is today. There's a link to the TechMint article. It's techmint.com
Yeah.
/ top Linux distributions of 2012. Good article, and I'm sure it'll pique a number of y'all's interest.
Well, I
What
mean,
have you got?
well, look, you realize you may know that the top selling laptop on Amazon is Linux based. It's, the Chromebooks featuring Chrome OS.
Yes, yes,
So it's, I think Linux is on the rise, at least the Linux, world in general. And for, Chrome OS and Chromebooks, they start at about $250, just something to get you on the web. Free updates for life. You don't have to worry about, spyware and stuff like that, at least not for now. I think it's great. Well, speaking of Google, Spatry, Google Fiber.
real quick, before we jump over to Google.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
funny because I was speaking with somebody who works for a major technology superstore. I'm not going
Yeah,
to mention the name of the store,
yeah.
but the salesperson told me they do get a lot of returns on the Chromebooks because people don't know how to use them. And I
Hmm.
think that's something that we need to kind of
Hmm.
cover a little bit more in our
That is
shows.
surprising because I did a quick test on. I thought it was like super user friendly, but maybe they were expecting something that it's not. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. I used to work at QVC, and we sold some Linux machines, and some of
Yeah.
those. That was back at the beginning of the netbook craze when they were all shipping out
Right,
netbooks
right.
with Linux distributions on them, and some people had some difficulty with with it, taking in this new technology and that sort of thing. And
Right.
I'm sure for those people who are used to using operating system X or operating system W, you know, um,
Yeah.
it's hard for them to
Yeah.
to transition over. But that's why we have our shows
We could
online
probably
so we
do
can
a
show
joint
people
one like
stuff.
that. I think I still have it downloaded in my virtual machine, but yeah, we can probably
Yeah,
do something like that as we maybe we can try it again, or at least I can try it again to get more comfortable with it.
yeah,
But we can explain what it is and what it is not. So sure.
exactly, exactly. What you got?
Well, Google Fiber is coming to, I believe, Austin, Texas, and this runs about $100 a month. And I thought to myself, but that seems like a lot to pay to have yourself cleaned out.
Google Fiber? Do you mean to tell me they're coming out with their own breakfast cereal?
Well, I thought that was a lot to pay to have yourself flushed. Then I realized, wait a minute. This has nothing to do with cleaning yourself out. It has to do with high-speed internet.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. It
Well, you
sounded like
remember, yes, well, yeah, you remember, you and I were on the same page here, yeah. But it's like 1 gigabyte download per minute or some outrageous speed. I mean, this is the future.
wow.
Yeah, it's like 100 some dollars, which seems high, but for the speed that you get, hey, if you have the need for speed, Google
Hmm.
Fiber, and it has nothing to do with the toilet. Yeah,
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that because you know, we have ATT Universe that's trying to compete against Xfinity,
yeah,
saying they have faster internet and all this, and now Xfinity's got radio ads going up stating that they're doubling their speed now, which
yeah.
that AT&T Universe will never be able to compete with, yada yada yada. I think this is just one big cat and mouse game. I'm waiting to see what happens with this though, because I would definitely
Well,
love to have faster internet. That's for
look,
sure.
this is an internet world for better or for worse, and the name of the game is speed and stability. It's both, and apparently, I think this is the second big market for the Google Fiber high-speed internet, and apparently it works pretty good. But this will spur competition. When word was released about the Google high-speed fiber, I believe AT&T is in the works for having its own, high-speed internet
Hmm.
service. So hey, this spurs innovation, competition, and it's great.
Well, get this: VLC 2.06 released with a boatload of bug fixes.
Ah,
Now, Videoland, the team behind the app, say VLC 2.06 is an important update to the 2X series of the popular media player.
yeah.
Amongst the fixes and feature improvements, users will find support for Madraska v4 files. As a matter of fact, I
Ah,
upload a lot of videos to the
sure.
Madraska format, um, especially when I'm doing screencasting. I export everything to Matroska.
Hmm.
There's improved dbus and MPRIS interfaces, miscellaneous fixes for MKV, OGG, AVI, and Windows Media Video file formats.
Hmm.
HTML SRT subtitles will no longer cause a crash. Great for those of you who are using those SRT files for your subtitle system.
Yeah.
And then, of course, secure HTTP playback fixes have been done, and they have a full list of changes there. And then, of course, I got this article off of the omgubuntu.co.uk site. For those of you who want to try this out right away, they have a link where you can add a PPA to repositories, and you can download and install this to your system quite easily.
VLC is great for both Linux and Windows. It's really one of the top, media players out there because it plays just about everything that you can throw at it.
Exactly. And one thing of interest, and I could be wrong on this, but it is my understanding that on some distributions, if you just install the VLC media player in Linux, then you don't have to open up all these repositories to download all these other codecs and that sort of thing, because pretty much VLC would play almost anything right out of the box for you.
Yeah. Spatcher, you had mentioned you talked a little bit about Microsoft, and I caught this at the last minute, but apparently there's interest again in smartwatches, and Microsoft, along with I guess
Uh-oh.
Samsung, they want to build a smartwatch. Didn't we talk about this last year about
We
smartwatches?
did.
And maybe they should call it the watch, and like, duh, why you want to build it? Uh, but look, there must be a market for it because it isn't just Microsoft who wants to, get into the game.
Hmm.
It's Samsung and I believe LG. So maybe they see something that we don't in the market. So
Well, I think Google's heading in the right direction because, they've got Glass now, which is the
yeah, yeah,
glasses everywhere.
yeah,
And I think that's really going to be the wave of the future because now, you have these glasses that you can put on and have a heads-up display.
yeah.
And I think that would probably be something a little bit cooler than
Yeah.
a clunky watch with a touch
Look,
screen.
we could be wrong. Nothing surprises us in the technology world, but
And we're not going to go into the fancy accessories that we talked about last year.
no, that's in the previous news and nonsense. Let's move along here before we wrap this up. Oh, here's something
All
that's
right.
slightly off topic. General Motors and Ford to jointly develop 10-speed transmissions to improve like fuel economy. Shouldn't they first learn how to build 6-speed transmissions before they build 10-speed transmissions? Just a thought. I guess they had like software issues with the 6-speed. Now they're going to go into 10. I'm like, why don't you build something good first? But hey, that's how they do things here in this country. Yeah. Next they'll have, transmissions made out of bananas. Watch.
It's funny because last week you had discussed this keyboard made out of bananas, and I Googled that because I thought you were kind of pulling my leg a little bit, and
Yeah,
that
of
was true. Somebody
course it
actually
was.
did make a keyboard out of bananas. It was the most insipid looking thing you've ever seen, but
Yeah, well, yeah.
apparently it works.
Look, I told you guys, I only grabbed the stuff that's true. It's more funny. If I make it, anybody can make stuff up, but when it's true,
Yeah,
it's like, come on.
yeah,
But
but
yes, it
yeah,
was true.
maybe they should have gone green and switched and used a
A
cucumber
zucchini or
instead.
a cucumber. Yeah, right, right. Did you know that today apparently is the birthday of the first commercial videotape recorder?
Ah,
Uh,
that was
fif-
the Betamax, wasn't it?
57 years ago, apparently was the
Oh,
first
really?
commercial one. I did not know that. I'm just catching this off the newswire as we read. I remember VHS tapes, don't you? Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
the thing is, the back then it was a competition between the Betamax and the
yes,
VHS, and the Betamax. Um, I don't know what it was that led to their demise, but they actually had a better quality
yes,
video set.
yes,
But I think it was because they didn't standardize their parts or whatnot to where other companies could make them. Sort of like what Mac's doing with their computers.
yes,
Only Macintosh can make a Mac.
right,
You know, I think, and I could be wrong here, but I think that's what led to their eventual demise.
yeah,
But the thing is, the Betamax did provide a better quality product. But the thing is, the VHS provided a lower cost product,
mm,
and just about any manufacturer could make them.
that's correct. And I believe you got more time on a single tape, maybe say 6 hours
Yes.
versus 4 hours, and people went for I guess quantity out of for instead of quality. But I remember it, sure. I mean, there wasn't that much of a quality difference, but it was noticeable. Of course, now with
Yeah.
digital stuff, it's completely, different world. But sure, I do remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last thing I wanted to mention, off topic again, but what in the world is up with North Korea? Now, the reason why I
Uh,
say this, I'm listening.
oh,
I watch
there
YouTube
it comes,
videos.
folks.
I watch YouTube music videos. You know that guy last year who had that song, Open Gangnam Style, whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I mean?
No, but
Really? Okay, well, he had a like the.
I'm gonna have to check that out though.
Anyway, it's a singer that goes by the name of Psy, Psy. And I thought to myself, why is he naming himself after a tire pressure gauge? But that's PSI, sorry. Uh, but it's PSY side. It had millions and millions of views and hits, and it's kind of a catchy, dancey song.
Mhm.
But he's from South Korea,
Hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, but those South Koreans know how to party. Then to the north, not so far away, you have that leader. What's his name? Kim Jong Wang or whatever the heck his name is.
I don't know.
Kim Jong Ju, whatever. And he's like, "You touch me, I kill you." I'm like, dude, you really need to chill out. Dude, no one's after you. But just the South, you have Psy or Pi or whatever he calls himself, who likes to dance. And in the North, you have this leader who, the still press photographs, he's always staring out into something. Like a still photograph with the binoculars, and it's like, what is he looking at? Is he waiting for a bus all the time or something? But it was just, it just something that popped into my head. South Korea apparently knows how to party, and North Korea apparently is a party pooper. But that's all I have.
Okay.
That's all I have to say on that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what do you want? You want more banana video? Come on. you know, Excuse me, Mr. Vaseline and Sand. Oh, for the love.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on that one again. I'll
Yes.
have to film part 2 of that.
Yeah. Right. How to.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I made that video.
Uh,
I I got a few off the wall phone calls from family and friends
uh,
after they saw that one.
well, they probably thought there was something wrong with you or something. Did you go see a doctor, or maybe you hit your head on a banana or something.
I can't wait to do another off-topic episode. That was too much fun, and I haven't had fun like that in years and years
It
and
looked
years.
like it.
It was well worth it was well worth the effort that it took to put that together. All right, well, thank you all of you once again. This has been well, this has been a different conversation.
It's been a long one too. Yeah, really. Oh well, we seem to be out of sync tonight. I don't know what's going on, but anyway.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
you
know.
sound tired, so and I had a long day myself. So
Yeah, but
anyway,
still, nonetheless, it was a decent show.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a decent show. Good night, everybody.
Bye bye.